Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It's fantastic to have you here because we are working on the Scottish Claymore. We've got a lot of work cut out. First of all, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Now, Squarespace, of course, it's a website building platform that I use and I love. I've tried other ones. This is the easiest platform to use and it builds the most beautiful websites. Absolutely recommend it. There is a link in the description, squarespace.com/forge. You can get 10% off your first purchase with them and a free trial so you can start building your online presence today. For me, first, however, let's start working on the Scottish Claymore. Oakley dokley, so on part 2 of working on the Scottish Claymore, we had a little bit of an issue. As you will have noticed, I indeed found what may well be a pretty horrifying delamination, and I let you know that the next step was gonna be to grind it in order that we can see how deep the delamination goes and whether we need to start again. And so here we go! I've done a lot of grinding and that crack is still there. This isn't very promising, but I'm gonna flip it over. We're gonna see how it looks on the other side after a little grinding. I wanna have a look at how the tip looks too. I'm worried that might have delaminated also. There's an inch of delamination. Most of the tip on this side looks good. I'm gonna flip it over and have another look. Oh boy, this isn't good. We've not got a lot of thickness left there. Gee whiz, this isn't good. Oakley dokley, so I'm about 4 inches short of where I need to be, assuming that I draw the tang out right about where I thinned it down. So this blade right here, obviously, you know, it's a pretty good length as it is, but of course I've now thinned it out a massive amount here, grinding away the crack to see if we can grind past it, and I've not ground past it, as you can see. Now, when I'm forging something I've never forged, I like forging it a little thick, a lot thick. In this case, as you guys commented, I forged it out a very lot thick. This is way wider than it needs to be, which is nice in the sense that it gives me a lot of freedom to work with, but it means that the length that we have here, I mean, we're not getting as much length from the billet as possible because we're gonna end up grinding off that material on the sides. So I'll thank your good suggestions on this being too wide for what I think I'm gonna try and do, whether this works or not. I'm gonna see if, I'm gonna try it, just in case this works, I can bring down the width of the blade and actually get enough length for us to draw the tang out in front of where that crack is. This might work, this might not. Of course, worst comes to worst, we just start again. I'm under the complete understanding I might well have to do this, but I want to give this a try too. See how much extra length we can stretch out of it by bringing that width down a little bit closer to what the Claymore's width should be. So what happens is when I hit it, because the edge is thinner, it just folds over and rolls. It makes it really, really difficult to thin it down. what I've been thinking. I was really, really worried that we're not gonna get the length. I'm still worried, but I think I just might. What I did here as a little experiment is I forged a lot closer to dimension. I started hand hammering the bevel, but then I had the idea to go to the other power hammer and put some very gentle radius dies in there to forge the edge down. So after bringing it narrower, I could then bring the width back out and make it closer to the finished dimension. This in turn obviously means we bring it narrower, it gets longer, but we still keep the width that we need. This might just work. We're gonna keep working with it. Okay, so I have forged it out to the point where it starts cracking, which is right about there. That's where the crack starts. Now, bear in mind, the first 1.5 inches of material at the tip needs to be cut off. Oh boy. Oh, I'm a little nervous. This is where I find out if I'm going to start again. Okay, that's 1 meter. The thing is, that's 1 meter to where the crack is, and that doesn't at all account for having enough material to forge the tang, unless we decide to forge the tang out of the cracked portion, hoping that it will forge well together, and I don't know if it will. I'd love to have an answer for you. I don't have that answer just yet. Okay, so on further reflection, and after Jamie had a very, very good idea, it's too wide. I brought it down to then draw the edges out, wanting to get extra length. I should have brought it down a little more, because I would have gotten some extra length. Now, if I was to do what I was planning, which is just forge this down into a tang, I'd need like another 4 inches of length on the thing, and there's not a chance I can get it, especially now that I brought the edge down some. It's just gonna roll too much if I try and bring it down this way to get the extra length. So this is where the cracks are. It's right along here, and it's the join between the, the join between the Damascus steel and the 1055, the monosteel, right? Jamie had a cracking idea, which is...
Oh, cracking.
Way, that's horribly unfunny. Right, so the idea that Jamie had is that we chisel down either side of the Damascus into the cracks, get rid of the other material, and then forge down the rest of it into a tang. I'm not exactly sure how well that's gonna work. I worry we might not have enough material, but I think it's the last chance, the last hope we've got of actually getting a Scottish Claymore out of this lump of metal. So, into the forge we go. You see that smoke? That's my glove, and my hand is inside my glove. And I'm noticing increasingly that the temperature of my hand is increasing rather, Just edit that out, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think I now just got to cut it off right about there, and we should be good to forge out the tang. This is gonna be really, really tight. Oh, I cut off way too little material. Okay, shock horror, I think we've done it. I think the tang looks good. Jamie, you're a genius for the idea. Put your glasses on. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Make sure everybody gives him a good thanks in the comments. Okay, the tang looks like it's about right. Now time to refine the blade. With a hand hammer, I'm gonna go across everything. If I can, I'm gonna keep it this width or narrower. We're gonna polish the bevels. Hopefully, soon have this thing finished forged, but I don't want a long heat for whenever I'm working this. So I'm gonna poke this into the side of the forge like that. Keep our heat lengths minimum. I only wanna work on a little bit at a time. This here, laddie, this here is a Scottish Claymore! A Scottish Claymore! And that's no word of a lie. One real Scottish Claymore. Aye, she's forged. She's not very straight, but aye, let me tell you what, she's forged. Oh, I'm exhausted. Whew. Okay. That Scottish accent kills you. Righty-ho! So, a little bit of straightening to go. Back in the forge. I'm going to use the full heat of the forge now. Full length. Let's paint a heat. We're going to run over to the cast iron table. And hopefully get this nice and straight. I really should have put ear protection on. That is a loud, loud, loud table. Right. Round two. It's looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. That's so loud. I'm sure I said something pretty recently about hearing protection. Right, so this tang is bent off from it slightly. So I'm now just going to take a little heat up here, straighten that out, and should be good. Woo, this is hot. Ow, ow, I'm burning my hands. Ow. Can you do me a favor and hit that? 2/3 of the way down. Yep. Halfway lighter, tang junction light. Halfway medium. 2/3 to me, medium. Halfway medium. It's like playing whack-a-mole. Ogly doggly, so I'm going to drop my pressure. I'm going to come up here to my burners. We do have burner kits on the website, and you can experience just how nice it is purchasing on a Squarespace website. And in the low temperature forge, we are going to do some normalizing cycles. So I'm going to be here a while, painting this through and normalizing it. Let's
let's talk about websites. Again, it's time to give a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Now, of course, they're offering you guys 10% off your first purchase and a free trial. Link in the description below, squarespace.com/forge. Now, why is it that I like Squarespace so much? Well, firstly, it's whenever I'm browsing somebody's website and I go, gee whiz, that's a really nice website. Wow, look, there's a video on the page, everything's super interactive, it's working great on my phone, and then I go, oh wait, I can see, that's a Squarespace website. Yeah, that's right. Anytime I see a website that looks beautiful, turns out it's a Squarespace website. It's the same with my website. It works great on the computer, works great on the phone, which is incredibly important just because of how much it is that we're using our phones today. I sincerely recommend you start building your online presence, your own website, whether you're an artist, you're a blacksmith, you're a carpenter, or whether you just want to make sure that your name has a good place on the internet. Make sure you go to squarespace.com/forge. Get yourself 10% off your first purchase and a free trial. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring the video, making this stuff happen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for having a good look. Get that website built, and I'll see you tomorrow.